Hi, this is SpookyRecapped here, and today I'm going to recap the movie Sinister. The movie starts out with the main protagonist, Ellison, as he's moving into a new house with his family. Ellison is a struggling true crime author. As the family moves in, the town sheriff approaches Ellison. He does not approve of his books, as they make the police look bad. Ellison's family does not know that they moved into a house where a murder happened. Ellison goes to the attic and discovers a mysterious box that somebody has left behind. The box is full of Super 8 tapes and a tape recorder. He says goodnight to his wife, Tracy, and sets up his office. He puts up a white sheet and starts watching the tapes. It starts out as a normal home video, but quickly turns into a horrible scene as the family are hung from the tree outside. The tape ends and Ellison starts writing down questions. He then goes outside to look at the tree from the tape. He then goes back in his office to watch another one. This too starts out as a normal home video, but turns into a gruesome scene as well. Ellison picks up his phone and calls the police. But when he sees his best-selling book, Kentucky Blood, he changes his mind and hangs up the phone. When watching another tape, he suddenly hears a sound coming from another room. He follows the sound and discovers a box in the middle of the hallway. The box opens up and it's Trevor, his son, who is screaming while having a night terror. Ellison and Tracy carries Trevor outside to calm him down. The next morning, the family is leaving for work and school, leaving Ellison alone in the house. He watches a tape of a pool party that turns into a drowning. He notices a strange face in the water, so he pauses the tape. When investigating further, the tape catches fire, and he quickly puts it out. He then researches how to repair a tape and make them digital. His family comes home, and Tracy is angry with Trevor as he drew a picture of 4 people hanging from a tree. She finds out exactly what house they moved into and gets furious. At night, Ellison is in his office, recording more of the tapes. He notices a strange symbol in the tape. He prints it out and hangs it on the wall. When adjusting the contrast, he discovers a name in the video. When he researches the name, he hears a sound from the attic, and the lights go out. When walking to the hallway, he hears a loud thump and feet running. He grabs a knife and goes to the attic. Something is moving under a box, so he uses a knife to flip it. A snake crawls out, scaring him. When looking at the lid, he finds drawings of the murders. A strange person appears in all of the drawings, Mr. Boogie. When walking back to the stairs, Ellison falls through the floor. Paramedics arrive to check his leg, but he is okay. An officer checks out the hole in the ceiling and follows him into his office. He wants to help Ellison uncover the mysteries so he can get his name in the book he's writing. He agrees, and the officer writes down some names and leaves. Later that night, Ellison is watching an old tape of himself on a talk show. He misses the time that he was at his peak. The next day, when he's re-watching the tape of the hanging, he notices a strange figure hiding in the bushes. The figure appears in all of the tapes. The officer calls Ellison and gives him some information. When Ellison isn't paying attention, the figure at the screen turns its head, but when he looks, the picture is back to normal. When sleeping, he gets woken up by the sound of the tape recorder. He enters his office, and the tape is playing, so he turns it off. He takes the picture of the figure hiding in the bush to the window, and it is suddenly out there. Ellison grabs a baseball bat and a flashlight and goes outside. He sees Trevor hiding in the bushes as he's having another night terror. He brings him inside and puts him back to bed. He goes back outside to retrieve the flashlight, but a big dog is growling at him. Behind Ellison, 5 children appears, and the dog runs away scared. He runs back inside, and Tracy says she wants to move. They get into an argument, but she agrees to stay a little longer. The next day, the officer returns. Ellison invites him into his office, and he notices a symbol on the wall. He tells Ellison about a professor who might know about the symbol. He later has a Skype call with Professor Jonas, who tells him the symbol is for a child-eating demon called Bagul. After hearing this, he puts everything back in the box and locks his door before going to bed. He wakes up again to the tape playing in his office. He grabs a baseball bat and starts searching the house. Creepy ghost-like children starts following him around the house, but he cannot see them. He goes back to his office, turns off the device, and checks on Ashley. A little girl is in Ashley's room, but he cannot see her. The officer returns the next day, and Ellison asks him about the previous family who lived in the house, but he says there was never anything strange about them. At night, Ellison wakes up again, but when checking the office, the recorder is gone. He follows the sound into the hallway, and the ladder to the attic is down. He slowly walks up the ladder and sees ghostly children watching the tapes. Bagul appears right in front of him, making him fall down. The recorder and all the tapes are thrown down, scaring him. He then goes outside and burns all of it. Tracy comes out, and Ellison tells her to get the kids and pack the car. When driving, they're pulled over by the sheriff, but is let go with a warning. A while later, they're moving into a new house. The officer calls Ellison, but he just hangs up. He gets an email from Professor Jonas and calls him. Jonas tells him that according to the myth, the demon can travel through the images, so he deletes all the files from his computer. The officer tries calling him again, but he still just hangs up. When bringing some stuff to the new attic, the box with the tapes has appeared again. Inside the box, he finds an envelope containing extended cuts. He puts the extended cuts on the original tapes while drinking his coffee. When the officer calls again, he finally picks up. The officer tells him that all of the victims has lived in the same house, but they only got killed when they moved. He then sits down to watch the tapes. When watching it, it is revealed that the missing children killed their families. They all walk in front of the camera and hushes before disappearing. Ellison starts feeling dizzy as the tape ends. When checking his coffee, he notices that something has been put in it. A card from Ashley is under the cup, saying, "Good night, Daddy." He passes out on the floor, and Ashley is standing right behind him. He wakes up, and his mouth has been taped shut. Ashley films him with an axe in her hand. She kills Ellison and draws the murder in the box. She then walks in front of the screen, and Bagul appears behind her. He grabs her and takes her into the screen to the other kids. The box is left behind to the next owners of the house as the movie ends. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe for more content like this. And stay spooked, people.